Hello, let's explore your wellness journey together. Hello there, I'm Dr. Martin, and I'm really glad you stopped by today. Now, before we dive into anything specific, I want to ask you something. Have you ever wondered why, despite all the advice out there, maintaining your health and achieving weight loss can feel like such a complicated puzzle? Maybe you've tried diets, workout routines, or even mindfulness practices, but something still feels off. Well, you're not alone, and you're in the right place to start untangling this. Today, I want to take a deep dive into topics that intertwine psychology, nutrition, and overall well-being. Why? Because these areas don't exist in silos. What you eat affects how you feel mentally, and your mental state influences your eating habits and motivation to move. It's a complex dance, and understanding it can be the key to transforming your health for good. So let's figure it out together. Are you ready? Great. Let's begin with something fundamental but often overlooked: the psychology behind your eating habits. More than just hunger. Have you ever caught yourself reaching for food even when you're not hungry? Maybe stress, boredom, or even happiness triggered that urge. Now think about this. What if your brain is sending you signals not just about physical hunger, but emotional needs? Our brains are wired to seek comfort and reward, and food, especially those high in sugar and fat, can trigger dopamine release, that feel-good chemical. This creates a loop where eating becomes a way to manage feelings rather than just fuel the body. Does that sound familiar? Let's consider an example. Imagine you've had a tough day at work. You come home exhausted, and instead of preparing a healthy meal, you find yourself binging on chips or sweets. Why? Because your brain is craving relief, a quick emotional fix. Now here's a question for you. How often do you think your eating is driven by emotions rather than physical hunger? And what if learning to recognize these cues could help you regain control? Understanding this psychological aspect is crucial. It's not about willpower alone. It's about awareness and strategies to address emotional triggers. Over time, this awareness can reshape your habits and relationship with food. Nutrition basics: fueling your body with purpose. Let's move from the mind to the body. Nutrition is often misunderstood as just eating less or cutting carbs, but it's so much more nuanced. What if I told you that what you eat can literally change how your brain functions, your energy levels, and even your mood? Think about this. When you eat a meal rich in whole foods, vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats, your body receives not only calories, but the essential nutrients it needs to repair cells, balance hormones, and keep your metabolism humming. Contrast that with processed foods high in sugar and trans fats, which can cause inflammation, energy crashes, and even cravings that lead to overeating. It's like fueling a car with the wrong type of gas. It just won't run efficiently. Now, here's something interesting. Did you know that some nutrients, like omega-3 fatty acids found in fish and seeds, have been shown to support brain health and reduce symptoms of depression and anxiety? What if incorporating these into your diet could help you feel better mentally and physically? Nutrition isn't about perfection. It's about making informed choices that support your unique body and mind. And guess what? This is a journey where small, consistent changes can lead to lasting results. The role of sleep, stress, and movement in weight loss and well-being. We often focus on diet alone when trying to lose weight or improve health. But here's a secret. Sleep, stress management, and physical activity are just as important. Let's start with sleep. Have you ever noticed that when you don't sleep well, your cravings spike and your energy plummets? That's because lack of sleep disrupts hormones like ghrelin and leptin, which regulate hunger and fullness. So, if you're not getting enough shut-eye, you might feel hungrier and less satisfied after meals. Stress is another big player. Chronic stress triggers cortisol release, a hormone that can increase appetite and promote fat storage, particularly around the belly. Now think about your own life. How often do you experience stress, and how does that affect your eating or exercise habits? Physical movement is not just about burning calories. It's about improving mood, enhancing metabolism, and boosting overall health. But what if the idea of exercise feels overwhelming? You don't have to run marathons or spend hours in the gym. Even gentle activities like walking, stretching, or dancing can make a significant difference. So here's a reflective question. How balanced is your approach to sleep, stress, and movement? Could improving these areas unlock new levels of health and well-being? Mindful eating. Reconnecting with your body's signals. Now, let's shift gears and talk about a practice that's been gaining attention for good reason. Mindful eating. What if eating could be more than just a routine or a reaction to emotions? What if it could be a way to connect deeply with your body's needs and signals? Mindful eating involves paying full attention to the experience of eating, the taste, smell, texture, and how your body feels before, during, and after a meal. Imagine slowing down and savoring each bite instead of rushing or multitasking. Why does this matter? Because when you eat mindfully, you're more likely to recognize when you're truly hungry versus eating out of habit or emotion. This awareness can prevent overeating and help you enjoy your food more. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you really tasted your food without distractions? What if making this a habit could help you lose weight without feeling deprived? It's not about restrictions, but about getting back in tune with your body. Over time, mindful eating can transform your relationship with food and make healthy choices feel natural and satisfying. The power of small changes and consistency. Over perfection. Here's an important truth. Sustainable health and weight loss don't come from drastic measures or quick fixes. They come from small, consistent changes that add up over time. Think about it like this. If you improve your nutrition, sleep, stress management, and movement by just 5% each day, what kind of transformation could you achieve in 6 months or a year? This approach also reduces the pressure and guilt that often accompany dieting or lifestyle changes. Instead of aiming for perfection, which is unrealistic, focus on progress. Celebrate small victories and learn from setbacks without judgment. For example, if you've been sedentary for a while, starting with a 10-minute walk daily is more manageable and effective than trying to overhaul your entire routine overnight. So here's a challenge for you. What's one small change you could make today that supports your health and well-being? And how can you keep that momentum going? Integrating psychology and nutrition for holistic well-being. By now, you might be seeing how psychological factors and nutrition are deeply connected. But how do you integrate these insights into your daily life? It starts with self-awareness, noticing patterns in your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors around food and health. Journaling can help, or simply taking a moment each day to reflect. Next is developing coping strategies that don't involve food. Maybe it's deep breathing, calling a friend, or engaging in a hobby that brings joy. Nutrition-wise, aim for balance rather than restriction. Include foods that nourish you physically and mentally, and don't demonize any food group. Remember, well-being is holistic. It's about caring for your mind, body, and spirit in harmony. Here's a thought to ponder. What would your life look like if you treated yourself with kindness and patience on this journey? Overcoming common barriers. Motivation, environment, and support. Let's talk about what often holds people back. Motivation can wane, environments can be challenging, and lack of support can make change feel impossible. Have you noticed how easy it is to slip into old habits when stress hits, or when you're surrounded by tempting unhealthy options? One way to overcome this is by setting realistic goals and creating supportive environments. For example, keeping healthy snacks visible and accessible, or planning meals ahead, can reduce impulsive choices. Also, seek support, whether from friends, family, or communities who share your goals. Accountability and encouragement can be powerful motivators. Think about your own environment. What small tweaks could make healthy choices easier for you? And who in your life could support you on this path? Technology and tools. allies or distractions. In today's digital age, technology can be both a help and a hindrance. Apps for tracking nutrition, sleep, and exercise offer valuable insights, but they can also become overwhelming or foster obsessive behaviors. What if you approach technology as a tool rather than a judge? Use it to inform and motivate, not to criticize or pressure yourself. For example, instead of obsessing over every calorie, focus on overall trends and how certain foods or activities make you feel. Ask yourself, is my use of technology empowering me or causing stress? How can I strike a healthy balance? Wrapping it up, your personalized path to health and happiness. So where does this leave you? Hopefully, with a deeper understanding that health and weight loss are not just about what's on your plate or the number on the scale. They're about nurturing your mind and body, making informed choices, and being compassionate with yourself. Remember, the journey is unique for everyone. What works for one person might not for another, and that's okay. Now, I want you to take a moment and reflect. What's one insight from today's talk that resonated with you? How can you apply it starting right now? Thank you for joining me today. If you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because in our next video, we'll dive even deeper into practical strategies for managing emotional eating and building lasting habits. Until then, take care of yourself, listen to your body, and remember that every small step counts. See you soon.